Well, the journey has been full of ups and downs, and to start off with the IPO period, which came out in September 2015, that did not start off on a good note because the IPO itself was undersubscribed, and in fact they had to extend the issue date as well. Not only that, in fact, if you look at the IPO, the issue price was, the stock, by the way, this year is down about 15 to 16%, and if you look at the IPO price, issue price was at about 115. So currently the stock's been trading below its issue price. They did extend the issue period. Not only that, the price band was also revised downwards. Initially, when they came out with the IPO, the band was somewhere about 140 to 147, which was later revised to about 115 to about 123, and the issue price was at a lower price band. So September 21st, 2015 was the time that the stock got listed. It just listed with a premium of about 4%. So if you look at the performance since then, how the listing journey so far has been. So when it listed in 2015, probably if you applied in this IPO, you may have received returns of 25% just in the first year itself. In 2016, however, the stock was down 31%. Now this is the year 2017 when there was some bit of action seen in the stock, and a lot of retail investors were drawn towards it because the stock gave you returns of 126%. But from there on, it's been a journey downhill for them. 2018, it fell about 58%. In 2019, where a lot of developments have come in for the business, the stock so far is down about 16%. So what have been the developments? Before that, let me tell you what have been the highs and the lows. December 18, 2017, it touched highs of about 257.9, and the low was seen this year on February 6th of about 47.1. And high-low ratio, I don't know how much that matters because it also depends on when exactly you entered into this share. But going ahead, what are the developments? Key development came in at the start of this year when the company sold its dairy business to LACKLUSTRE subsidiary in India for about enterprise value of about 1,700 crore. Now remember, dairy business contributes about 98% to its revenue, which meant the shareholders who would have applied in the IPO, probably they wanted to buy the dairy business, but that's been sold already. And it also said the cash which comes on the balance sheet of the company, the distribution will happen to the retail investors as well. So how will the company go ahead and distribute that capital? They have only two options. A, they declare a dividend, special dividend, which they did not do. Now remember, there's a dividend tax of about 20%, which is to be paid by the promoters. They took the other route, buyback, and it's not a normal buyback. They've also said they will be delisting the company post this buyback. And yesterday itself, the company came out and said the floor price for this buyback is about 63.77. So the second route which they've taken of about buyback. Now there, if you have any capital gains from a shareholder's perspective, that is to be paid by the shareholder and not the company. So it remains to be seen whether promoters will gain because of this. 63.77, remember, this is a floor price. So if you're a shareholder, you can also tender the share at a higher price. The discovery price will come in later because it's a book building price. What does all this mean for a minority shareholder, probably who would have bought the share in the IPO or probably sometime later, maybe in 2017, when the shares were trading at levels of about 250? The main business was sold without an open offer. What does that mean? Because the main business was sold via a step-down subsidiary of the company, which also means the promoter stake in Prabhat dairy was not sold. So that's still intact at about 50%. Had that happened, company would have got on board an MNC player like Lactus, and if the shareholding would have exceeded 25%, they would have to declare an open offer, which would have also meant if the existing shareholders are not happy with the new promoter coming in, they would have tendered their shares. But that did not happen at all, which means the minority shareholders were not given that option. The floor price, interestingly, which has come in at 63.77, it is at a steep discount of 20% to Friday's closing. Now remember, of course, you can tender your shares above that as well. And if you're making money into this transaction, now remains to be seen with the book building process and also the sort of taxes that you will have to pay on this particular transaction.